Just getting started now. Just getting started again today. Today we're doing another 15-minute unsticking project session. Okay, let me just confirm I can hear anything. I don't hear anything. Is this working? Oh, it's can tell if I turn this on. A lot of squeaking going on down here. Squeaky. Squeak, squeak. Oh, okay, it does seem to be working. I'm gonna pet the cat. Hello, look at the kitty. Meow. So much squeaking. We had to do our session. Maybe you're hungry. Anyway. So, okay. This is continuing on for this week's project of spending 15 minutes a day getting unstuck. Each session is 30 minutes. The first 15 minutes are just recalling what I did the previous day, and the last 15 minutes are the actual working session. And I've already forgotten what I got started with, so I had to go and review that. Okay, so what do we have? Let me just make sure I have this open here here's my screen. And what do I got here? I should make sure that this is actually streaming in the settings I think it is. So I'm looking at my OBS Open Broadcaster settings. This is, oh, it's outputting scaled. That's not cool. I'll have to fix that. Should still be readable, but it'll be a little bit blurry. Anyway, fix that later. I'm making a note. Here's my Emergent Task Planner manual version, which is right in this big 9x12 notebook. Which reminds me, I should also get that notebook into production this month. August 9, 2016. I need to fix the OBS settings, and that'll be fine. What time is it now? It's about 7:30. What I'm doing down here is just writing my day grid in: 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. That'll be fine. All right, so where did I leave off? This thing I'm looking at right now on the screen is the blog post I was writing at Starbucks about an hour ago. Just got home, but I want to look at, is this the right place? This is August. Where did I put that? The Unsticking Project. That really should be its own notebook, I think it. That's probably what I should do. I'll move this later. Move 15 unstick to own notebook. So anyway, what was I doing yesterday? What I usually do is I rewrite this. So the idea behind this unsticking project, if you haven't seen this before, is that the theory is that if I spend just 15 minutes a day working on some project, and it's the same project, like just for 15 minutes a day, that I'll make some progress. And I've done this once before, and I should even see if I can find that article. Let me pull up a browser. 15 minutes. Oh, this article. So back in 2013. So we would do at 7:15. We would declare what we're going to work on for the next 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes we're up, we would report on what we got done. So this ritual actually worked out pretty well. I'll put a link into the chat window. Absolutely, a little paste. Oh well. That sucks. Yeah. What it allows me to do is set the tone for the day, and it's also a kind of call to action on myself. If I am feeling so overwhelmed or so busy that I can't spend 15 minutes a day on my own project, who am I kidding? I'm never going to get that project done. I might as well just give it up. And usually that's shocking enough for me to say, okay, I'll spend my 15 minutes on it. And it's surprising just what 15 minutes of continuity a day will do for one's mindset for the rest of the day. I mean, yesterday I only got a little bit done, but it kind of lasted all day feeling like, okay, I'm actually, thinking about this. And it was very instrumental in writing today's Groundhog Day resolution, which is a day late, but establishing a new direction for what my creative work will be. So I think it's valuable. It's certainly worth trying for a week. I'm doing this with my friend Joy, who has a Asian market nearby. And we were complaining the other day about how we have all these projects that we want to do, but we never have time to do it. So I was reminded about this 15-minute challenge and said, okay, I will do it too. And tomorrow I'm going to check in and see how she's doing, visit her store and bring her lunch. So that's, the other part of this. So, time is it? So it's 7:30, 7:28. In 2 minutes I'll start looking at this. And what I'll do is I'll set my kitchen timer to 15 minutes because that's all I'm going to spend on it. Later on, if I have time, I may go back and do some related work, but at least 15 minutes. After this, I want to start working on some network code I was writing yesterday and got a huge headache doing. But today I have a little bit less of a headache, so maybe it'll go better. And maybe my transaction-based network remote procedure call system will work. So, all right, I'm going to start the 15 minutes now. Noink. It's going. All right, so let's review. What did I write yesterday? Okay, I was thinking for my stuck us. What am I stuck on? I'm burned out on projects. I just wrote about this. I've questioned whether or not these long-term goals are 24, even things I want to do. There's a difference between interesting projects and projects I am passionate about. The new goal, the new focus is, I called it the Castle of Knowledge in my blog post. And the purpose of this Castle of Knowledge is, I was going to say be impressive. I'll just write that. But its key role is to shelter not creative independence, interdependence. That's the major wrinkle that came out of today's writing session. Whereas before I was all about creative independence, and that seems to be a trending term these days. Creative independence is the means to creative interdependence. Independence is the means to creative interdependence. That means when you have creative interdependence, that means that you have something to offer. I'll just write it like that. So anyway, and also the way to do that is to this specific project is the Community Nerd Project, which is this. And I'm just rewriting this entry from yesterday, reviewing it. This is part of the maintaining of continuity on your project work. When I do this, what I am doing is keeping this at top of mind throughout the day. Throughout the day, I will think about this, and then the next day, as I reread what I wrote yesterday, this vision gets refined, and eventually a course of action will really present itself. So even though I'm very conscious about how little time I have, I'm going to force myself to go through this slowly. The Community Nerd media project. What are people doing that is nerdy and interesting that other people like me would like to know about? That is a terrible sentence. How can I rewrite that? Styling, I say stylishly celebrating what local nerds are interested or are obsessing about. What local nerds celebrating what nerdy awesomeness is going on in the area. That's better. It's a little bit better. As a web presence, as a print component, how to invite people into it. This I'm not so worried about. I will create a local volunteer group. I will of a local group of interested volunteers, or say interested contributors. That's a better way of putting it. So I made decisions. I'm converting yesterday's ponderings into statements today. There will be a web presence and a print component. I will create a local group. So now I have a more concentrated mission statement. Yesterday I wasn't sure about, but today I'm not sure. And this statement is really what creative interdependence is. Creative interdependence. So let me just mark it that way. So this will be a note. The realization of motivation does seem to come primarily from shared interests with other people, since I exist as a community, some desire to be around other weirdly ambitious, creative, and people like myself. So I thought that arranging for a more pleasant social geeky collision space. Themed collision space. Themed events in my living room cafe will create creative interdependence. There might be a better term for that, but I'll go with that for now. Let me move this stuff up here. The specific nerd media project. These are elements of it. First task. 8 minutes left. This project will develop design resources that I can also use for my own website, which is largely the same stuff. You know, it's like nerdy things. Showcase. Content. Or let's see. Emphasis on people who I know are doing nerdy, cool things. Showcase the work of area nerds. Provide, be a beacon, a publishing beacon for area nerds. Okay, that should be fine. First task. Now we're getting into the actual task definition. The first task is to, I think, design a format, an article format. And this is an arbitrary decision. Oh wait, it just deletes something I wanted to keep. I have a domain and am willing to commit $500 to $1,000 on a print piece. Joy suggested that we could find other people who would want to contribute to making a cool print piece. So I don't have to front all the money. I still can, because it would be a marketing expense, technically, for my accountant to deduct. But it would be great to get other people who have skin in the game. Let's put it that way. Because I think other people would believe in this. I mean, the idea of this whole creative interdependence thing is to have people who, you know, this is a social element. This is not just about making cool, nerdy stuff so I can gloat about it, which is how I thought about before. But it's to have something that people can feel a part of. And that makes being part of something that's bigger than yourself is super important, I think, for nerdly well-being. At least my well-being seems to be founded on that. Sound check. Yep, that's still working. What I need now is a design to start from. And that brings us to the last 4 minutes of this session. The article format. This is why I need to put this in its own notebook. Article format. And so, design an article resource format as just plain semantic HTML. Maybe looking to Jade as the templating language. The work with ArcFront will drive both Nerd.net and the David State Economy website running under Metalsmith. So, let's do that. Article format. This is basically let's say, kinds of articles. Let's just start with one. The kind of article I'm thinking of is the basic resource collection, let's call it that. And what goes into a basic resource collection? I think it's the topic. For example, let's say, let's make, what's something I've done recently? Pizzas. Making pizza in my home oven. And so what do I want for that? I want to have, this is kind of a Cook's Illustrated, although after Cook's Illustrated articles. There's the desire or motivation. I was tired of bad pizza. I wondered if I could make it at home without make it at home in my crappy kitchen an interesting thing that there's all these related topics too. Or tags, really. I mean, this is related to baking. Maybe food preferences, is that one? I mean, the tagging system. What the tagging system should allow me to do, allow me to find patterns in my research and allow other people to explore along themes. So maybe that's just two tagging systems. Tagging as type of inquiry, type of pursuit, maybe. And then also topic, not topic, let's see, the end result, or the tangible experience, tangible result. That might be a taxonomy that works. Type of inquiry, type of experiment, or let's say stage of production. Because there's things like discovery, pre-production, concept, prototype, deliverable, or let's call it result. Type of inquiry, tangible experience, tangible result. That's part of the, then there's maybe the classification of result. Is it like food? Is it food? Yeah. Time is up. All right, so we have the basis. This is where I've left off yesterday, or for today. So for today, what I have is the beginning of an article taxonomy. And tomorrow, or maybe even later today, I'll be able to look at this and continue to develop it. What will happen eventually is I'll end up with like just the kind of things I want to have on a page. And once I have that, then I can start mocking up in Bootstrap and write direct HTML or something like that. At least that's the thought. Okay, so we're moving along. In about 15 minutes, I've redefined important concepts. I've refined the project. These are things I can directly use to recruit people, and I have an immediate first project. The first focusing project, let's call it. That's really what it is. As this comes along, as I'm trying to define this, what I am doing is coming up with other attributes of this project. And a reminder to myself is to keep it loose and not really expect a lot to happen very quickly, and be fine with that. Okay, so let me write that down in my little reporter notebook of things I've done today. So I have done the 15 minutes, and I've refined our mission statement. I've defined this whole creative interdependence thing, which I should write about. Interdependence. And then I've started to define an article semantics, which will translate directly into HTML, maybe tomorrow or maybe later today. So this is good. I mean, I kind of wish I could work on this a little bit more, but the interesting thing is that because I'm cutting myself off at 15 minutes, there's a kind of anticipation for doing this again tomorrow. And that sense of anticipation might be important. as opposed to what I ordinarily would do is I would work on this until I was exhausted and tired of it, and then after that I'm not good for anything. So maybe I'm reserving energy for the actual work, or I shouldn't say actual work, for the other work I need to do today, which is to work on my network remote procedure call transaction system thing for this educational project. And I got really close to having something happen yesterday. But then I got a huge headache and I fell asleep. So hopefully project progress today. I'm already tired though. I was up at 5 a.m. today. Went to sleep around midnight though, or fell asleep around midnight, which is really early for me. Trying to shift to these early days, because that's part of the new, this week's initiative. So what I'll do today is I'll post, first I need to finish also posting yesterday's overdue Groundhog Day resolutions review for August 8. There's a whole bunch of new directions and new definitions of how I am going to approach my goals for the rest of the year. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then see what I can get done, and if I can finish work by noon, that gives me the rest of the day to do things that are more fun, or more interesting, or I don't know, something. I will feel free, and that's important to me. All right, so that's today's session. 7:48 a.m. Tuesday. If anyone's watching this, hope you're working on something cool, and have a good day trying to get some cool stuff done. I am turning this off.